So with week one of college football finally kicking off this week, today we need to revisit a conversation we kicked off the week with. And as USC has turned their attention to the Nevada Wolfpack, today we need to turn our attention to a conversation we had on Monday. Should USC fans be concerned about the state of the defense? Something we need to break down today. But before we can, as always, y'all know the drill. I have got to hear from you. Hop down to the comments. Give me a Y for yes or an N for no. Do you believe USC should be concerned about the state of the defense? And let me know what you're thinking. If you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe. Hit that bell notification as I do constant college football content. You don't want to miss any of it. And if you enjoy the content, be sure to like and comment down below. But having said all that, let's jump right into this. And first and foremost, as always, in the interest of fairness and objectivity, there are a few points I think we need to start off with. And I think the main one is, this was week 0. This was USC's first game, and inevitably there were going to be growing pains. So for those of you watching, asking the question or thinking about the question, is this a little bit reactionary? I grant you a little bit. However, tendencies are tendencies for a reason, and patterns emerge for a reason, and that is something we have got to discuss today. The other thing I would like to talk about before we get into the meat of this conversation is that there were some players that USC got out the transfer portal that were absolutely flying around. Mason Cobb was out there making his presence known. You look at Bear Alexander, and he was able to generate pressure. My main question is who's going to step up alongside Bear Alexander to really allow him to flourish? Tackett Curtis looks like a player that the USC fan base should be excited to see how he continues to develop. And of course, I was excited to see Eric Gentry back out there healthy and flying around making plays. You already know I'm really rooting for that guy. But as I was watching that game as USC took on San Jose State, I couldn't help but continue to ask the question, what does it take for a defense and inevitably a team to win a national championship? If you're not new to this channel, a phrase you will have heard me say time and time again is that you have got to be balanced to win a college football national championship. I operate under the assumption that you cannot be one-dimensional and win the whole thing. We've seen teams try, we have not seen them succeed. So as I was watching the USC San Jose State game, I kept thinking about this question. What does your defense have to look like to win a national championship? And so I started looking and creating a list. What have the scoring defenses looked like of national champions from 2000 to 2022? And what I found was quite frankly alarming, because when you look at the list in totality, what you're going to find is the average scoring defense rank of the national champions in college football comes in at number 8.6 in the nation. Now that's alarming when you realize that USC was outside the top 90 scoring defenses in the nation last year. Furthermore, whenever you look at this, they're allowing an average of 14.66 points per game. Now, it is important to note that there are 3 outliers. When we look at this list, from 2000 to 2022, there have only been 3 scoring defenses rank outside the top 20 scoring defenses in the nation win a national championship. You're talking 2010 Auburn that had Cam Newton, one of the greatest college football players we've ever seen. You're talking 2014 Ohio State, who came in as the number 26 scoring defense in the nation. And you're talking 2019 LSU, who came in as the number 32 scoring defense in the nation. All 3 of those teams had unbelievable offensive firepower, which in fairness, the USC Trojans absolutely have. Look, as we're continuing to talk about the defense, don't think for one second that I'm not going to take this opportunity to quickly shine light and praise upon that offense. Yes, I know it was expected, but I love college football. What type of college football fan would I be if I did not lay praise at the feet of Caleb Williams for his performance, or a Zachariah Branch, who, dare I say, may already be a superstar in college, doing things for the Trojans that they have not seen since Adoree Jackson? That guy has got game-breaking ability, and we are all truly lucky as college football fans. We get to watch him play football for 3 more years. He is a special talent, and I'm really excited to see what the future holds. So I understand. It was game 1. There were going to be growing pains. However, we also need to understand that this was a San Jose State offense that last year ranked outside the top 70 scoring offenses in the nation. In fact, if we look, this was a San Jose State team that last year averaged 3.4 rush yards per attempt on the ground against USC. They went for over 7 rush yards on the ground. This was a San Jose State team whose quarterback last year averaged 1.9 yards per carry on the ground. Against USC, he went for over 5 yards per carry. And so, yes, it was the first game. Yes, there were inevitably going to be growing pains. And yes, Alex Grinch did rotate a lot of players trying to see who is capable of playing winning football. But the last thing you want if you're USC is to be giving teams who you are vastly more talented than games that are better than their average. That's not what you want to be. You want to hold teams to less than what they're used to, not give them more stats than they're used to. So should USC fans be concerned about the state of the defense? Well, look, as I started this off with, it was week 0 last week. Of course, there were going to be growing pains. So I'm not going to sit here and tell USC fans or college football fans to pull the alarms, to hit the panic button. We're not there yet. But at the same time, you do realize that your defense must make real and serious strides if you want to get to the promised land, because you have a quarterback that can take you there. You have an offense that can take you there. Because I do believe USC has the offensive capability to be a quote-unquote outlier on this list. But that's still a lot of work that needs to be done from where USC was last year to where they were this year. There have been patterns, and those patterns emerge for a reason. One thing I always say, one dot could be meaningless, but the second you start forming a lot of dots, well, now a line has formed, and that line didn't form for no reason. Can Alex Grinch break the line that has formed? This is what we have to see, and we have got to see it this year before USC moves to the Big Ten. I'm super interested in seeing how the USC defense is going to continue growing until they play a Notre Dame or a Washington. That is going to be must-see TV for me. I can't wait to hear from all of you. Hop down to the comments. Let me know what you're thinking. That's it. See ya.